So Bitcoin is stuck in a sideways holding pattern these days in terms of price, and we have all the action elsewhere, like in the stock markets, with stocks reaching new all-time highs, rocketing 10+% a single day. And we got gold even breaking out into a new all-time high, which is super impressive since it's been less than its previous all-time high for almost a decade now. So in this video, I'm going to talk about whether Bitcoin is still a buy and hold in 2020, since it's halfway through this year already, and people may be going to explore other types of assets instead. And I want this to be an open discussion, so if you have any thoughts, ideas, questions, comments, suggestions, just write me down below and I'll definitely get back to you. So let's first start out and take a look at a few reasons why Bitcoin isn't as hot these days as it was maybe earlier this year or in some prior years. Because people are getting mad gains these days trading stocks, for example, on Robinhood. You have mere mortals turning into Robinhood gods, and you see people on Wall Street Bets, a famous subreddit, making 100x gains in like a couple of weeks by buying options. So this is getting really crazy. Even Mark Cuban's niece asked him for stock advice because she said all her friends were getting 30% a day and just she wanted to get in on the action. He basically told her, just don't get too greedy and don't forget to take profits. But he says it's so similar to what it felt like back in 1999, the dot-com bubble. And he just says that there are some differences these days, obviously, but while history may not repeat exactly, it might rhyme. So just keep an eye on that. Dave Portnoy, the founder of Barstool Sports, also has recently become a phenomenon online, putting out day trading content, picking random stocks and pumping it to the moon like Hertz and other just random penny stocks, making a ton of money out of it. The whole time he's been criticizing Wall Street suits, is what he calls it, saying that he's just out trading them and they should just give up and stop criticizing him. Another reason why people are really liking the stock markets is because of the volatility, right? Traders crave volatility. They can capitalize on strong moves, breakouts, and just follow the trend. The trend is your friend. Just follow the momentum, right? And so it's surprising because we always thought that crypto was the place for volatility, but no, that's not the case. Recently, we've been less volatile than a lot of stocks and other types of assets in traditional markets, for example. The next reason is that stocks have really captured the hype and the meme status that was famous in the crypto world back in the day, right? We got Tesla, a bunch of fanboys boosting it up to never before seen heights, crazy P/E ratios, and other fundamental metrics that just don't make sense for that company. We got Nikola, we got Virgin Galactic, just to name a few that you might have heard of before, but they've really captured the public attention. You can see on Twitter a bunch of memes about different stocks, and that has really gotten it just full on speculation and detached from the fundamental valuations. Last but not least, it's the rise of zero commission trading and also fractional shares, right? Popularized by Robinhood. If you're on there, you can now trade fractional shares. So instead of buying a whole Tesla share, which costs about like $1,600 now, or a Berkshire Hathaway, their Class A stock, which is like over $200,000, might be even more. I haven't seen it recently. But instead of having that much to get one, you can buy fractional shares now. And that makes it much easier to get in on all sorts of stocks and equities. And so that's no longer a selling point for the crypto space. So what are your thoughts? Those are my main reasons why people have moved away from the Bitcoin space into the stocks, commodities recently, because of all of those different developments. But even with that, I still think Bitcoin is super promising and should definitely be a part of your portfolio for a few key reasons. Number one, people are increasingly seeing it as a great store of value and sort of like a digital gold per se. Mainstream culture and even people on social media have been pushing Bitcoin as a way to opt out of the government's financial and economic policy, right? You have not only people in the Bitcoin and crypto space, but you got famous athletes like Russell Okung, you got Robert Kiyosaki of Rich Dad Poor Dad fame, and many other people getting in and believing in Bitcoin as a opt-out store of value type asset. The mainstream public thinks this too, right? You got many people who put their government checks, the $1,200 or so, straight into Coinbase to buy Bitcoin. Brian Armstrong, CEO of Coinbase, tweeted out some charts that showed a spike in deposits of $1,200 amount back when the checks first came and got deposited. Now, this is the new digital gold, but along with regular gold, both could do well, in my opinion, if fiscal policy continues to decay and lose the confidence of the American public and people around the world too. Not to mention that Bitcoin still has the best track record of growth and appreciation in the past decade. And even on a yearly level, except for just a couple of years, it's been the best performing asset in each year for the past decade. So that's really crazy track record. Don't doubt Bitcoin. And even though Bitcoin crashed a lot during the onset of the COVID pandemic, it still is performing better than some of the top indices if you consider just year to date. And you may say that year to date is not a fair way to judge performance, right? But if you stack sats or dollar cost average, DCA, then that is potentially a fair way. If you have kept doing it periodically, you would have gotten more gains in Bitcoin than potentially S&P 500, for example. I think one way to do it is to, of course, go get the gains in the stock markets, take profit though, just like Mark Cuban said, and put it into Bitcoin, some of it at least, and diversify maybe into real estate, some other places, because stocks may only go up until it doesn't. So what do you think? Let me know, are you still buying Bitcoin recently, or have you moved on to other types of assets? What's your strategy in 2020? What do you recommend to everyone else? Take a look down below. Discuss with each other. I'll chime in as well. And just let me know, are you full equities, all Tesla, Amazon, Netflix, for example? Or are you buying gold and silver, which has not broken out into all-time highs? Anyways, this is Kevin. I hope this was interesting for you. Let me know your thoughts, and I hope you subscribe. Hit that notification bell to catch future general markets and Bitcoin discussions. I hope you have an amazing rest of your day, and I'll catch you guys next time.